gonna be a different type of video, bro. And before I even hopped on here to record, I was literally ranting on my Instagram story about it, because as a black man who does not fit the stereotypical masculine archetype, and I really feel like it was hitting home because I like to express myself freely. Back when I was in high school, I was painting my nails often. I used to have my homegirls paint my nails. I used to have shorties paint my nails, and my swag is boundary pushing. I like to wear things that can be a little feminine. I like to wear clothes that are, you know, more in line with what niggas would call twink swag, but I do it because it's expression. And seeing Plaqueboymax get demeaned for expressing himself when there's actual evils in this world was truly disgusting, and it really upsets me because the black community is very guilty of this. It seems that being anything that isn't this perceived idea of what a man should be is worse than being an abuser. It's worse than being a predator. It's worse than being someone who hurts other people. I just don't understand why people cling so hard to the performance of masculinity, because that's all this is. People call Max a sellout and they say,
listen, I'm all for niggas trying new things and doing new fashion and shit like that. Who gives a fuck? If that's the least we gotta worry about and everything else that's going on in the world, who gives a fuck? Let the nigga dress how he wanna dress. Same goes for his sexuality. If the nigga wanna be gay, just let him be gay. Who cares? It's 2026. I don't understand why people who don't conform to the ways of society are always exiled. It's like people always look down on them. Like, I don't understand why that is. Like, everybody is not meant to, we're not all meant to be the same. Like, everybody is different. Just let people live in their truth. And this is why a lot of times people be scared to come out, is because of the backlash that they're going to receive, because they know how people are when it comes to this kind of stuff.
he's a demon because they're pseudo-intellectual religious people who are saying homophobic dog whistles, and they've somehow equated God with traditional ideas of masculinity, when all of this is merely a performance of what masculinity is. It's a performance of what a man should be, when all a man is someone with an outstanding character, integrities, and morals. The reason why the world won't become a better place is because people keep clinging on to performing. The only thing that defines a woman is someone with outstanding characters and morals. But when you deviate from what is the norm, people try to shame you back into submission, and that's exactly what's happening with Plaqueboymax. It's not because he's gay, it's not because he's hiding himself. He's being exactly who he is, but he is being met with so much vitriol and controversy, and you people wonder why he had a reaction on stream. It's not that his demons are coming out to play, it's that you weird pseudo-intellectual fools are trying to shame someone back into conforming with your idea of what it means to be a man, and your idea of what it means to be a man is a performance in and I say all this to say, twin, I have a lot to say. This shit not even tea. I'ma just spit this real. If you're interested, come and tap in. Comment for the algorithm. Usually I would give like a summary on how we got here, but I'ma just cut straight to the BS, because honestly, there is no summary on how we got here. All Max has done is just present himself in a way that I guess could be perceived as outwardly feminine, like getting a diva tat and wearing a wig. And this has spawned some of the most...
Did he just get a lineup with a bust down wig? That looked like Brazilian. Okay.
Psychosis, remedial hot takes I've ever seen. Like, Plaqueboymax is pushing the gay agenda onto kids. Plaqueboymax is pushing the feminine agenda onto kids. But these same people talking about these agendas never be speaking up when it's the Epstein files. They never speak up when it's predators in their communities. They don't speak up when it's predators in their families. They don't speak up when women are being abused, but they speak up when a man deviates from the traditional masculine idea. They speak up when a man stops performing masculinity for them. They speak up when a man
See, that's what I'm saying. Society standards is just crazy to me, because y'all normalize that type of shit that he was just saying. Y'all normalize that and be okay with that shit, but when somebody's just expressing themselves and not harming anybody, it's a problem. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? Let him, if this is what he wants to do, honestly, just let him do it. Because I never want to get to the point where I'm the nigga hating on the new style, the new generation, because it's something that I've always done. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person. You know, I want to welcome new music and new ways of style and dressing. You know what I'm saying? No matter how old I get. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm not gonna be dressing hella young whenever I'm like 70 or 80, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. People are really, really, really close-minded. Really
outside of the box, and it starts when Max literally tries to greet someone who he thought was his friend, and it's a man named OJ Suave. And you just got to hear what he has to say to him. We're just gonna break it down step by step, and I'm gonna dismantle all of these remedial talking points that he dishes towards Max.
Why you wanna be a diva? On some flashy. Why you wanna be a diva? Some flashy. You're a demon. You need holy oil, right? You need to sit down in the holy oil. You need to go get a church bath and cleanse your body, right? I think you are confused. I think you need some guidance. I think your parents feel a little way about that. I think you're clip farming and you're getting your clips. You pushing the persona. You smart. You loyal. I know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You've been at this. But you are not a diva. Diva's bent over. I don't think you're bent over. You're not the little boys in Clover. You're not Tota. You're not a diva. You are a grown man. Plaqueboymax, not Plaqueboymax.
The amount of disrespectful things this man said to Max is just astonishing. He called him a demon. He said that his parents feel a way about that. He said that he's not Clover. He said that he's not Tota. He said that Max needs guidance. That's a grown-ass man telling another man that his parents would feel some way about how he's conducting himself. All because it doesn't fit the traditional idea of what a man is. All because Max refuses to perform masculinity. And that's why this shit boils my blood so much, because all of this stems from this religious pseudo-intellectual idea that there is a gay agenda. And then you can hear the homophobic dog whistles. He says, divas bend over. I don't think you bend over. Number one, bro, if you actually watch Streamer University, if you watch Max, yes, Max will say some zesty jokes. Yes, he may play a little gay, but Max has consistently gone after and flirted with women, so he's not gay. The only thing that makes you gay is liking boys. Dressing femininely, presenting yourself femininely, liking things that are not commonly associated with men has nothing to do with your sexuality. But for this grown-ass man to assert that he needs to go to a church and get cleansed, and even calling him a demon when all he's doing is expressing himself in a free-flowing way, that is truly...
First of all, look at this nigga hair. First of all, let's look at this, chat. Look at this. Look at this. You gonna get mad when a nigga walk up on you with some hair like this, and you gonna get mad at what this nigga got to say? I know he ain't sitting here trying to talk about Plaqueboymax when you're walking around looking like this. Anybody about nothing. I don't know. I don't know what kind of fucking hairstyle this is, sir. We need to get rid of this ASAP.
Disgusting. And that is demonic, because you know what Jesus said? Not to judge thy neighbor. And that's my issue with some of these Christians. I know not all Christians are like this, and I actually want to be better at clarifying that I'm not talking about every single Christian, because I recognize that not all Christians are like this, and Christians are not a monolith. I also don't know if OJ is a Christian or not, but what I do know is that Christians and religious people do this. They will use God to shame you out of being yourself. I'm gonna drop some quick little DH lore, bro. At the church I grew up going to, in the 7th grade, there was a gay man who was apparently like a born-again Christian who stopped being gay because of the church. In my honest opinion, that's just not possible. What I think he was doing was just suppressing himself out of fear of hell, out of fear of consequences. I'm not gonna mince words, bro. Some Christians enable that environment of self-suppression, and we're seeing it right here with Plaqueboymax. This nigga called him a demon over a diva tattoo, but I guarantee this guy's never spoken out against abusers or predators or misogyny, or I don't know, the global elites that are literally poisoning our world. And you can call me wrong for assuming these things out of someone I don't know, but when you're calling someone a demon just based off of a tattoo, why should I give you the benefit of the doubt? Why should I give you grace? This is disrespect in every sense of the word, but let's continue.
Not black boy ass. Are you gonna tell your son that you are a diva? Daddy, what's diva? Hey, get the fuck out of here. That is an abomination.
What's the meaning for the word diva though? He don't even know. He don't even know what it fucking means.
Max, I am not proud of you. I am proud of everything else you did. Nominations, changing the game, changing your skin to Batty Diva. Diva start with D. Diddy. What else?
So I just want to mention that the cameraman looked at OJ's pants, and the reason he did that was to point out the irony in what OJ was saying, because OJ is a fashion nigga. And later in the video, I'm gonna play a clip of him being performative, because he kind of has this branding where it's like, oh, you shouldn't do things for other people's validations, and I'm pushing the boundaries as a fashion guy. But he proceeds to berate Max for doing the exact same thing.
Somebody said, wait, you're straight? Bro, I'll make your mother laugh, bro. I don't like when y'all do that, and the reason I don't like when y'all do that is because I do not have to conform to your generic, dirty, idealistic notions as to what you believe males should act like.
And for the record, when I grow up, I will be telling my son and my daughter I used to paint my nails and do things that were a little more feminine, because they should know that you can do whatever you want. You can exist as free as you can be, because the only thing that matters is your character, your morals, and your integrity. This guy is calling Max an abomination for simply being.
Let me just make this clear. It doesn't matter how you dress, what color you paint your nails, whatever. Nobody cares. As long as you're a good person, you're not doing fucked up shit to people behind closed doors. If you want to dress a little weird, you want to act a little weird, whatever. Who gives a fuck? You want to paint your nails? Go paint your fucking nails. Go paint your fucking nails. But the problem is that when you start doing shit that's causing harm to other people, that's when it becomes a problem. If you just expressing yourself and doing your own shit, and you over here doing you and you ain't bothering nobody, then it's fine. You feel me? Then it's fine.
Himself and not adhering to the confines of what society deems as masculine. Then he goes on a psychosis rant and tries to connect the word diva to Diddy. He says diva starts with D. That's Diddy. Caribbean niggas don't be talking about none. And that's really what I want to get across to you guys. None of this is intellectual. None of this is progressive. It's just grasping at straws using fear, and I don't like that. He is berating, even swagging them pants, gang. But I guarantee there's an old head that would look at OJ's fit and be like, yo, this guy is not being a grown man. He gotta be gay. And like real quick, I just want to quickly insert this in here. There's a photo of this guy swagging a purse, and there's nothing wrong with this. And honestly, OJ, this is not a bad fit. I actually fuck with this. So I'm not just a mindless hater. But the same way you're trying to...
I don't. Absolutely not. I hate it, actually.
Diva means Diddy, and Max is gonna have to tell his son this. Are you gonna have to explain to your child why you were a grown man wearing a purse? You see how that works? This guy's a hypocrite. So it's like, how could you be the same person to perpetuate that line of thinking to someone who is apparently your friend? And I'm gonna continue this clip because he's gonna proceed to tell Max that you were one of the first people to give me subs.
What's the next engagement? What's the next clip? Don't lose yourself, don't sell your soul, Max. They want your soul because you changed the game. Don't sell your soul. You know I have a soul. You know I don't hold my tongue. You know you the first person that ever subbed me up as a big streamer in my chat. You ain't mention it. You don't know how much I appreciate you. But you bigger than that, nigga.
Why every time somebody want to be themselves and express themselves, it's always they sold they soul? Why? I get so sick of that. I get so sick and tired. Why when people... Some people are just weird people. And when they start actually being themselves, people think that they're selling their soul. No, they're just fucking weird. And like I said before, it's okay. You can be weird as long as you're not harming and hurting other people. Some people are just really weird, chat. And when they get money and they're able to finally be their true self and show their true self and what they like and shit, they're into some weird shit. Yeah, they are. A lot of famous people are into some weird shit. And when they get that money, it's like it just magnifies it. It's like they feel like they're able to finally be themselves and do weird shit. I don't know the logic, but that's just how it is.
Don't forget niggas like you for your personality, nigga. Is you crazy? You need to put on no persona, nigga. You broke through with music. Is you crazy?
And OJ really spelled out why Max is having such a intense reaction to the hate online. People keep misinterpreting Max expressing himself as a fake persona. They keep misinterpreting it as pushing agenda, but this is merely who Plaqueboymax is. And I want to quickly get this talking point out the way because I keep seeing it. People think that Max crying is basically him admitting to being gay. They think that this is indicative that Max is gay and that the crying means that it hit a soft spot, or OJ was right on the money, or this is Max's demons coming out to play. But I hate to say it, you are truly remedial and you need to go back to school. Imagine that if you were just being yourself on the internet, every time people would say that you sold your soul, you need to get cleansed, and misinterpreting it as a false persona. This dude Max is literally doing what I preach, which is exist as you are, come as you are. I don't want anyone to be watching my videos and pretending to be someone else. Whoever you are, however you may be, come as that, exist as that. That's exactly what Plaqueboymax is doing, and yet he is the subject to all of this scrutiny. And I really want to get this out the way before I show you guys Max's response to all of this, because following this OJ conversation, he proceeds to vent his feelings a little bit. But I need you guys to know that as a content creator, I'm not even Max's size, but I get tons of hate comments. I get tons of people literally slurping my dick up. It's annoying, and I'm just a human. And yes, as content creators, we have built a tolerance for it, but put yourselves in our shoes for just a second. As people who don't make content and don't put themselves out there, you're not the subject to scrutiny. Max has been the subject to questions and scrutiny for a long time now just because he's expressing himself. Him having a human moment and him expressing how these comments are bothering him is not an admission of him being gay. It's an admission that he is indeed a fallible person. And when you're constantly questioning someone's character and telling them that they're selling their soul and that they need to be cleansed even though they're just being themselves, that would hurt anyone's feelings. And I really hate that the internet is so disingenuous. And I don't mean to make this shit about me, but I literally went through it when I was beefing with Jadeon. That weird man antagonized me as a child, and when I grew up, got stronger and defended myself, people tried to police me. The same people that are not putting themselves out there, the same people that are not subject to thousands of comments that are hating on them all the time. I'm not making an argument that content creators live a life that is just significantly worse than people who work normal jobs. But there is one thing that content creators do go through, and that's being subjected to the criticisms and the speculation and the vitriol of the general public. And as humans, it is hard, but the internet is so disingenuous, and some of y'all love to moral posture people so fucking much that y'all want to dehumanize a person that is being critiqued and low-key harassed just for being himself. So with all of that being said, let's talk about Plaqueboymax's mini response to what OJ had to say about him and how this is actually consistent with the message he's been saying the entire time.
I'm gonna end my stream. I want to just chill. I've been streaming this whole time, and I've been having a lot of fun. You know, people just really just accepting me for who I am, honestly, the whole time. So it's just felt like, damn, I felt like I enjoyed this shit again. You know, the reason I turned the camera back on is because I want to be real with y'all. Like, that's what I started doing. Just because streaming ability, I feel like, alright, streaming, give me the ability to do that. That's why I love it in the first place. I feel like I've always been able to be me. And even if niggas who don't me, or like viewers and fans, they, how do I explain it, hate on me or don't with me, that's cool. On my own platform, it's like, damn bro, if you with me and really felt that way, why would you say all the streaming for the honest? You don't care about it for real. You just know it go viral.
I had to start with this because Max ends up ending his stream after this because it is something that bothered him. He also talked about how he doesn't care if like random people are saying anything about him because at the end of the day, like he's being himself and he likes streaming because he gets to express himself. And I don't want to spoil anything because I did watch this already, but dude, hearing Max talk really showed me why I started watching Plaqueboymax in high school. For now, I'm just gonna explain myself by saying I can say confidently Plaqueboymax did not sell out. But I do want to mention the fact that Max calls out how OJ did that in front of the cameras, which made it seem very performative, which made it come across as clip farming. And even as I sit down and record this video, I can acknowledge that the stance OJ is taking isn't exactly his fault. We live in a society that perpetuates bigotry and homophobia. We live in a society that is very religious dominant.
That nigga definitely did because he knew what everybody been saying about Plaqueboymax. And the fact that he felt the need to say that, that's a conversation that you have with somebody off camera. That's not really Plaqueboymax's friend if they are supposedly friends. That's not a conversation I feel like you should have on camera, gang. That's the conversation you need to have off camera, man to man. So he was most definitely trying to clip farm with that shit. Most definitely. That was some weird shit. Cause like, why would you say some shit like that on camera? Like trying to make him look, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, that's weird.
And religion perpetuates this type of bigotry as well. But what makes me refrain from just saying that this is ignorance is, like Max said, why would you do this in front of the cameras? If you genuinely felt like Max was acting out of character, he could have pulled Max aside and had a private conversation like two grown-ass men. But instead, you know what he did? He did a criticism alley-oop to the internet, and that's what makes it come across as disingenuous. But let's continue.
This is me. This is me. Like, I don't give a f. I might be a little weird, bro. I might tell some shit. Oh, bro, think I'm gay. I don't give a f. What's wrong with being gay? There's nothing wrong with that, bro. Y'all whack. You're corny. And you just think out the next thing. You don't have your own mind, bro. That's whack. But I'm gonna be myself, regardless. None of y'all don't care. You might think that because you're closed-minded, but it's one love, bro. It's one love. One love.
And this is what I mean when I say I can say confidently Plaqueboymax didn't sell his soul, because he's literally saying very conscious, awake shit. I know a lot of the people like to masquerade as conscious, awake people because they're spotting the gay agenda, but you're not conscious nor awake. He is literally telling you that you're closed-minded and you don't have a mind of your own. There is no agenda being pushed here except the one love agenda. There is no agenda being pushed except the express yourself freely. And hearing Max sticking to his guns and hearing Max standing up for himself has showed me that he didn't sell his soul. This sounds like the Plaqueboymax that I grew up watching. And I'm not afraid to admit I have a soft spot for this dude. I've seen Max during multiple eras of his life. And at first I was a little skeptical on whether or not this dude was going through a midlife crisis, but in all actuality he was just growing into who he is, and that's this weirdo who likes to express himself. And at his core, that is the Plaqueboymax that I grew up.
I think that's all it is. I think he's just weird as fuck and he's just trying to express himself. I feel like everybody should leave him alone. Just let him be him. He's not bothering nobody. If he wants to put on a wig, let him put on a wig. He ain't bothering nobody. I don't really feel like it's a problem. If he wants to wear a wig, if he wants to get a butt reduction, whatever. I just let him do it at this point. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of Kicking Back with Mac. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. We out. Peace.